So I think the new one is what 2K25 now.
24
24.
coming out March.
I hope that's good. I really do.
Yeah, it's gonna be a day one cop for me. It's weird because like Suicide Squad came out this week, and I'm like, like,
Suicide Squad came
uh,
out this week.
yeah.
Oh,
If you have the deluxe edition, you were able to start playing it yesterday, Tuesday.
that's
But
crazy.
the standard game releases worldwide tomorrow.
People
Not
have
tomorrow,
been
Friday. My bad.
people have been shitting on that game, Holmes. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ,
The
I
mixed
hate it.
response is why I haven't bought it yet.
I
I
mean,
was gonna get it day one and like just play it for myself and be like, fuck what the critics think. But the mixed response, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to
well,
put my time into that right now.
The NDA has been lifted, so you can say a little bit about what you played.
Yeah, I mean, like, I only played the first 3 hours of the game, but
Uh-huh.
gameplay wise, that shit was pretty fun. But also, it's like it's a live service game and it's a looter shooter.
That's so dumb.
In the
I still can't believe that's something that's true. It's like, bro, this is a narrative story. Why the fuck is this live service? I don't get it.
yeah. And then like also, I looked up how long the story was. It said about 10 hours, and I'm
Really?
like, all right, that's pretty normal for a single player game, but this isn't a single player game. I was kind of expecting something a bit
But the thing
longer.
is, the standard for solo stories have gone up. That's the thing. Like, it's no longer like a 10-hour story. Like, if you're going through a story, you got to think Last of Us 2 level, 17 to 23 hours. Spider-Man
Yeah,
PS4, 18 hours, something along those lines. The standard has gone up. You know what I mean? It's no longer a 6 to 8
yeah, it
hour
has. But
experience.
my personal standards, because my brain is still like on The Last of Us One.
Your
Like
brain,
that game's 10 hours. Like
yeah,
for me, I'm like, yeah, like that's a decent
it's
length for.
fine.
You
You
can
know,
tell a good story in 10 hours.
I'm not even mad at it. Like, it's fine. You know, I'm just
Yeah,
aware that the standard has gone up, and I expect more. You know what I mean? So those 10
yeah,
hours better be really good. And I don't know, man. I don't see it. I just don't
yeah.
see it.
It's just for me for Suicide Squad. It's like okay, only 10 hours. It's a $70 game, and then like based on the side content that because I've done my research on the game, and based on the side content that's there, doesn't look like it's a lot to hold me over for very long after doing the story.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's live service; they're gonna be updating it, and they're planning to add like more story missions and characters and
Bah,
shit. But I don't want to
bah.
have to wait for that shit. Like
Exactly,
I'd rather.
bah. What's the point of a fucking release date if you're gonna give us the half of the one half of the game? You know what I'm saying? Fuck off.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
And then also like the first DLC or the first season that they have doesn't interest me. It's like, oh, you get to play as the Joker, and it's the Joker from another universe. It's like, I don't care. I don't.
Who
I'm tired of the Joker
cares?
in media.
For real, like that's all he's in. Every
Joker's been
Batman
so
story has
overused. Like,
Joker. Jesus,
if it was like, you could play as Bane,
that'd be
that's
sick.
different. Bane would be a cool character. Deathstroke, literally any of the DC characters. But fucking Joker, like, come on, bro.
Mhm.
Your first season, Joker.
You know,
Also, his design looks like shit. Like,
yikes, yikes, yikes. Yeah.
they made him look like a bitch.
I
I don't
mean,
like it.
I saw one scene that people are really pissed off. It has something to do with Batman. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what happens in the game already.
Yeah. So when I
Yeah, yeah.
is that literally the last scene?
With Batman, yes.
That's literally it. There's nothing else.
Yeah. He just gets shot in the face.
That I forget his name because I'm a horrible human being. I knew it yesterday and now I forget. The guy who voices
Uh,
Batman.
Kevin Conroy.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
That was literally Kevin Conroy's last words.
They actually just confirmed that he did an animated movie
Mm.
that's coming out. I think in like a month or two.
Did he? Okay, thank God.
Justice League animated
Thank
movie.
fuck! Jesus Christ. Because his
Yeah,
last words were like, is the clown show over or some shit? And then he just
yeah.
dies unceremoniously. I'm like, what the fuck? Hold on, wait, that's it?
A
That's
lot of
it?
a lot of people are comparing his death to Joel's in The Last of Us 2, but
Mm.
I think what a lot of people don't understand is that Joel's death in The Last of Us 2 is for thematic storytelling purposes.
Yeah, I mean, it starts the revenge arc. Continue.
Yeah, for this game, for Suicide Squad,
Mhm.
all the deaths are for shock factor, essentially.
Really? That's how we
Pretty
feel?
much. I mean, it's not even really shock factor because you're playing as characters that fucking hate the Justice League. So it's
Right.
like, it's just it's whatever.
It doesn't serve. Let me tell you, with a title as on the nose as "Kill the Justice League," we don't expect deep storytelling here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Really
like
don't.
you get what you pay for, pretty much, and I'm fine with that. Like, I don't care that they kill the Justice League in a game called Kill the Like,
Right.
it's in the fucking name, right? I think the only thing that doesn't really sit right with me is that it's in the same universe as the Arkham games.
You tell me about it.
It
That
didn't
is
need to
fucking
be.
ridiculous. It didn't need to be. You're right. 100%.
Yeah,
It did
like,
not fucking need to be.
yeah, like I get doing that, but
Why?
at the same time, it feels like they only did it for money. It's like
It
it's in the
feels like
Arkham universe, and all the Arkham fans lost their fucking minds.
one thing is that it feels exactly as you said, that it felt like they were doing that for money, and it feels like it's a spit in the face to the Arkham trilogy. All right, the Arkham trilogy is one of the most goated fucking gaming trilogies of all time. It's amazing. All right, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, even though it had a bit too much content, is still fucking great. All right, and so you put all these things together, and then you say, oh, we're gonna make a spin-off game where we disrespect the main character of that entire trilogy. Like, it's dumb. It's just dumb. The reason why Joel's death, I first of all, I hate that comparison. I'm glad that you defended it, because you know how I am. I fucking go down the rabbit hole with Last of Us 2. When it comes to Last of Us 2, you're right. That fucking that the killing of Joel is not just for shock value. It's meant to be the start of the revenge arc for Ellie. It's meant to empower you to go out and kill Abby. It's meant for you to feel the anger that Ellie feels in that moment. You understand? That death serves such a strong fucking narrative point that I don't mind it, because it's so unceremonious, but it's so visceral. It makes you feel fucking anger. Literally every single person that was playing through the game that didn't like that game, they would legit say, "Oh, I'm only playing this so I can kill Abby. I'm only playing this so I can kill Abby." So that means it fucking worked. It worked. What they were trying to do is it worked. And I don't think it was lazy at all. I think the game had some of the biggest fucking brass balls to kill one of their biggest characters right at the beginning. It wouldn't, if they had just killed him and like it was a zombie or some shit, like a completely, then it was that unceremonious, then yeah, I would think it was cheap. But it's not. It was a chick with a golf club and a group of her friends, and we wanted to hunt them down. That's how fucking strong that death was, you know? So,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. And then they add the little the story arc where Ellie was mad at him at the time, and Ellie really just wanted to enjoy her time with Joel, but now she doesn't get to do that. The fact that they added that along with that final scene at the end with them on that porch, just magnifique, you know what I mean? Great story. So you cannot compare those two deaths, him and Batman. It's ridiculous. The people who were criticizing that game when it came out never played it. So go fuck yourselves. You got past the first 3 hours and then didn't play it anymore because you're cowards. That's it. That's it. That's it. I don't mean to be so volatile. Of course, these people were just they were hurt and they didn't play it anymore because it was too much for them, and that's fine. The story's not meant for everybody, but don't say it was cheap, because that's not what it was. Come on now, help me out. You know,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, I'm very, very mixed on Kill the Justice League right now.
Yeah. I hope the critics are wrong. I hope it's actually really good and tasteful, but considering that's the last scene for Kevin Conroy in that game, I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I know they do plan on adding more story stuff, but I also feel that all the post-game shit really undermines the stakes of the game itself.
Yeah.
Because, when you have a game about killing the Justice League, it's like, oh shit, that's a big thing.
That's final.
You're killing the fucking Justice League. But then, before the game comes out, like a week before, they announce all this, these post-game content, and it's a multiverse game now,
right?
With all the content they're gonna add later. And when you add in multiverse, it really undermines the value of all that shit,
right? Because it's like, brother,
goes from being like a world-ending stakes to just being like, oh, this character's alive in a different universe.
It's like, let's go back in time for the Infinity Stones. Oh shit, yeah. That kind of thing, you know.
Like, as soon as you start adding shit like time travel and multiverse, it really just undermines the stakes. And I feel like that's kind of what they were trying to do, announcing that shit like a week or two before the game drops. And it's like, we know what you're trying to do. Like, come on,
help us out.
So I don't know. I do want to play it. as a DC fan, and I do want to see where the Arkham universe goes after this. But also, it's just I don't know if I want to spend the money and the time right now to play it. I'll probably wait for a sale.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll wait until they add a lot more content to it, and then I'll buy it after.
That's crazy coming from fucking you, dude. Because I could tell you right now, I'm talking to the audience here. Storian is the fucking biggest DC fanboy I have ever met. He loves DC, and I love DC too. But he's read all these fucking comics, and he eats up everything they give. For him to be hesitant on a DC title, that shows how bad it is. I'm just being frank. Yeah. It's just, and I'm not saying that as a negative connotation. You grew up with it. It makes sense. We all have our biases, and DC's one of yours, and that's fine. It's crazy that you are actually hesitant on a title. That shows the quality of said, or at least the reaction of said title. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Me personally, I can't spend $70 on a product that I'm iffy about. I just can't.
Yeah. It's just it's weird how I feel about Suicide Squad right now. Mm-hmm. I am part of me is still thinking about buying it and playing it, but then also it's just I don't know if I want to do that right now.
Yeah.
Down the line, sure, but where it stands right now, where it stands right now, I'm probably not gonna. I mean, not even just a sale. I'm probably gonna wait for them to, until they get to like season 5 or 6 when there's a shit ton of content already in the game. Then I'll get some bang for my buck. But
it's just so dumb. I hate this live service bullshit. You know what I mean? Though we're gonna add all this content afterwards. It's so dumb. Like Mortal Kombat can get away with that shit because they give you so much upfront already, and it's like, oh, we're gonna add some extra characters. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll buy it. You know what I mean? Because they give you so much to start with. But the fact that you're selling a $70 platform is ridiculous. I hate it. We're giving you the foundation of the game. Like, bitch, fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit. I really don't.
But yeah, and I've seen a lot of people also compare this to like Injustice, because a lot of people don't like Injustice and claim it disrespects the characters. But the thing for me about Injustice is that right from the fucking get-go, they tell you this is a different universe. The rules are different here. Mm-hmm. It's not the same Superman you're used to from the fucking movies. It's a different. This Superman is evil. Fucking, he does not give a shit about human life. It's two very different characters. But that's kind of the point of Injustice. It's supposed to be like a backwards, upside-down version of the DC universe.
Right.
But then with Suicide Squad, you put it in the Arkhamverse. And the Arkhamverse, Batman in this universe, we've played as him. Mm-hmm. Like, we've gone through his struggles. And it's we
slammed a man through a table with him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a very comic book version of Batman, especially Arkham Asylum. Arkham Asylum is just straight up comic book.
It's true. Like you stole that out of my mouth. It's truly faithful, right?
Yeah, it's like the first game is just straight up Batman, but then you get to Arkham City, and that's when Rocksteady's like, okay, we can kind of do our own thing with this, make it a little different. Mm-hmm. And so, slowly they've been kind of adding their own shit and making their own universe, which is cool. And then they want to do Suicide Squad, which is a good way of exploring different parts of the DC universe.
Right.
And then you just go ahead and, kill the Justice League, and it's like, all right, so what's the point now?
It's like flipping the coin. It's like complete opposite of what it was, I mean? Deep, rich storytelling to a gimmick, Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I love Flash as much as the next guy, not the superhero. I'm talking about Flash itself, And it's ridiculous that Flash can come with substance, guys. So please think of substance before you do the Flash. That's something that a lot of creators like to do. They do the Flash before the substance, and so the substance doesn't come out as good because they already put all the energy into the Flash. You understand? It's ridiculous. It's dumb. And that's what they did here. Kill the Justice League. Yeah, that's a killer name. Oh wait, it's a bit on the nose, don't you think? Oh well. Yeah, like Batman versus Superman. I'm like, that's a shit title. Come on. Help me out. Like the movies, I go back and I watch it and I'm like, you know what? It's not too bad. There's some dumb things. Definitely with the Martha thing, don't get me wrong. Definitely. But there's some good moments in there and I like, it's all right.
Yeah.
But Batman versus Superman, that's a horrible name. Come on. Come on.
Could have called it something else.
But it's money. That's all it is. The most dollars they can extract from that movie, the better. So I don't blame them for naming it. It's just there's no subtlety,
Yeah.
Same with Godzilla X Kong, but at least there, when I see Godzilla
Yeah.
X Kong, I'm like, come on, this is a CGI fest. There's not going to be any depth here because these aren't human protagonists. These are just animals fighting each other. That's it.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, my biggest issue with Suicide Squad right now is that it's in the same universe. I would have just new game, like new universe, new time.
New game. Delete the old save file, start from scratch. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would have just like I get it's a selling point that's in the Arkhamverse because people fucking love the Arkham games, but also
no.
And
I
also
think
they could have flipped the idea too.
What's up?
I tweeted about this. They could have flipped the idea too. You could have made it a Justice League game where you're fighting mind-controlled villains.
Just saying.
Instead of playing as villains fighting a mind-controlled Justice League.
Yeah, one thing that one thing that pisses me off, right, is one thing that I noticed anyway. One thing that I noticed is that they probably did that after their reception of I think it was. Do you remember like the Teen Titans one that they did? I don't know. It was like Robin. It was Batgirl and all this shit, and like Batman just died at the beginning of the game. Gotham Knights. Yeah, that one. See, I forgot the name. But like after the reception of Gotham Knights, I'm sure they were thinking like, oof, I don't know. It's just because that reception.
It's weird. I think Gotham Knights fits more into the Arkham universe than Suicide Squad does. Yeah, because I mean, when you look at the context, right? Batman Arkham Knight ends with Batman faking his death.
Yeah.
And Gotham Knights ends after Batman is supposedly dead.
Actually,
and now it's up to like Robin and Batgirl and Nightwing to kind of pick up the pieces. You could have just had it take place after Arkham Knight, and then still have the same story.
Right, like instead of Batman actually dying, it's just like, oh, okay, now I give it to you guys. Enjoy.
Yeah. And honestly, him faking his death would have been better because in Gotham Knights, they bring him back to life just to kill him off again anyway. So it's like, what the fuck is the point of that?
Yeah.
It's like that's just bad writing right there.
Yeah. Shit. Oh, because we need a strong opening. It's like, guys, come on. You don't need... Calm down. All right? Please.
And weirdly, I also think Gotham Knights would have worked better if that one was live service instead of Suicide Squad. Because there's a lot more shit you can do with Gotham Knights.
Shit. Well, that's a thought. I mean, one thing that I wanted to point out is that Spider-Man didn't start with the death of Uncle Ben. Spider-Man PS4. Spider-Man started with the defeat of Wilson Fisk, one of the biggest villains that Spider-Man has. It's like, hey, that's a really good start. You know what I mean? Because they start with a big crescendo, a massive boss battle, a massive fight. Going through these really cool fucking settings, like in the building they were in. Hey, that's a good start. And so I don't know why they can't do something like that. Why do they have to start off with a massive death? I just don't understand. Some stories can do it, but it's not mandatory. You do not have to throw Batman in to make those heroes look better. You don't have to do that. So I don't know. I think
DC just has a massive hard-on for killing Batman.
They really
did
do.
it in the Batwoman TV show. They did it in the Batwoman TV show. They did it in the Gotham Knights show. They did it in the Gotham Knights game. They're doing it in Suicide. Like, I think DC just hates Batman.
Because they're all
there's
trying
like no
to
other
be
way
shocking.
around it. Like,
Batman is their biggest fucking IP, so they're all trying to be shocking, but it's ridiculous because it's been done again and again and again for the exact same reason, and it's shock value at the beginning to make you care more about the main characters, the characters they're actually talking about. That's it.
Yeah.
And didn't like Batwoman? It was going for 2 seasons, and didn't they like directly disrespect Batman? It's like, oh, it's time for a woman to do this or some shit. Didn't they do that?
That was probably a line that was said in like one of the earlier episodes.
No, that legit. I watched the clip, and that's what he said. It's like, it's time for a woman to do this, or like a woman could do this better, or something so ridiculously dumb. And they zoomed in on the person's face. Well, it was so dumb. I just don't.
I don't remember, but it sounds like something that would be in that show.
That's CW shit. Yeah.